The Mahogany Project presents I Just Want to Tell Stories, hosted by Joe Anderson Jr., powered by the South Congress Podcast Network.
Hello, world. Welcome to the season finale of I Just Want to Tell Stories. My name is Joe with the Mahogany Project. I am super excited for our last guest. I think, you're a native Austinite?
I'm a native Austinite.
You're a native Austinite.
Native East Austinite.
A native East Austinite.
Yes.
Put some respect on her name. We have Cindy Elizabeth.
Yes. Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for agreeing to do this.
I'm so happy to be here.
I am elated to talk to you today.
Aww.
I'm super excited. You know, so the first thing we do when we have guests on is we talk about how we met. Okay. I will be honest with you, I do not remember.
Okay, I remember.
You remember?
I
okay.
remember.
Well, is this something we can say live? Like, do we need to edit?
No,
okay.
No. I think the most excitement happens on my end.
Okay.
But I met you at 4th of July pool party over at Miracles.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay, I remember that.
We were sitting underneath one of the little gazebos.
Yes.
We were having a conversation, and you were just like full of life and wanted everybody to participate and to get to know each other and to talk to one another. And being the Joe that you are, you were like, give me your top 5 albums of the year or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And so we were going around a circle. Someone brought up Azealia Banks.
Oh. I don't know.
I don't know who brought up Azealia Banks, but then somebody wasn't feeling it. And then so it went into this whole conversation around Twitter banning Azealia and, you know, the effects of misogynoir and how it affects different people. You know, I don't know. And so there was a debate that was going on.
Yeah.
And someone tried to come for me.
Ooh.
And
R.I.P.
And you were there to say, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. And we moved on.
And look at us now.
And look at
R.I.P. to whoever tried to come for you. So sorry. Ashes to ashes, dust to
dust
that
to
bitch.
dust. Right.
All right. Dust to that bitch. I don't even know who it is. We'll talk about that after we finish recording. Okay. So you are born and raised in Austin. Mm-hmm. Tell us about growing up here, your childhood.
So growing up in Austin as a child was fabulous. Can I curse?
Yeah, I just said bitch.
Okay, it was fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
Growing up in Austin as a child.
Fucking fabulous.
And I grew up in a predominantly black area of town. East Austin at the time was predominantly black. So everywhere you went, people looked like you.
Yeah.
People in the schools in the neighborhood looked like you.
Where at on the east side? Like what?
I grew up near Airport and MLK.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
right, you know where the Sonic and the Taco Bell is and all of that stuff.
I just stayed in that area for a little bit when I was in Austin. While I was in Austin.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm still here, but
right.
Yeah. I moved. Okay.
Not to break the fourth wall really quick. I get my hair cut at Agape Barbershop, so.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Our producer is talking. I don't know if the mic picks him up. He said he gets his hair cut.
Had to jump in really quick.
Okay, that's
Come
good
on,
to
little
know.
Sally Walker.
Okay, because I be looking.
Do you?
My barber stay booked.
I don't have a barber. I have a side chick, and I have a side chick to the side chick.
You got to.
You have to.
You have to.
Because Billy be like, God damn. I'm like, Billy, Can you fit me in, bitch? Okay.
Right. But you got to build your dream up.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes
It's hard.
because you got to test them out.
Test them out. That, you be wearing hats for a minute, but I got a fucked up cut.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up on near airport and MLK.
I grew up near airport and MLK.
And it was fucking fabulous.
It was fabulous. Everyone around you looked like you. I just remember being out in the streets playing all hours of the day and night. Kids everywhere. Basketball hoops, going down to the neighbors at the end of the block to play on their basketball hoop and get cursed out by their mama because you keep standing on the, you know, the part, it's like the black, I don't know, but like with basketball hoops, they have the older ones would have that big tank that you would fill with sand or water.
Oh, yeah.
They probably still do. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And we would get cursed out by the mother at that house for standing on that tank. So we get sent home and come right back. And, you know,
she over it after 10 minutes.
she over it. She's like, I hear these badass, head ass,
she needed a break.
Here they come back. But yeah, so it was all day, every day, just nothing but love and fun, and I just felt so free.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is that so much happiness and joy did come out of a lot of pain, though, because the 1928 master plan, are you familiar with that? Yes, that pushed all of the Austin's black residents east of the highway, or East Avenue at the time, but it's 35 right now. Yeah. And so that's how we all came to be. It was like thriving with black business, thriving with culture, thriving with like so much stuff. And that I feel very lucky and very blessed to have been on the tail end of that before gentrification hit. Yeah. Because a child growing up in Austin right now would have no idea, really, in East Austin, a black child in East Austin won't have any idea what that was like to grow up in a predominantly black part of town where everybody looked like you, everybody spoke like you, everyone respected you, people looked out for you, and people loved you, and people wanted to see you do well and wanted to see you live your black life.
Live your best black life.
Yes, and now it's the opposite.
It's a little bit different.
Being in East Austin,
Being in
East Austin,
it's changed.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
So, do you have any siblings?
I have, yes. My mother and my father have 5 children. Okay. So I have 3 brothers, and I have a sister my brothers are older and my sister's younger.
So you're like in the middle a little bit.
Well, ish. Yeah. I'm only one away from the
end.
Yeah.
The caboose.
Right. Yeah. So I got my spot. You know, I got my spots.
Are there, like, what was it like growing up in that dynamic? It was like 4 other people around.
With 4 other people around.
Well, with 4 siblings. Sorry, it's just me and my brother. So when he get on my nerves, I can escape him. You know?
See, the thing is that when you have that many, you got to have cliques.
Oh, okay. Who's in your clique?
My brother Dan. It was me and him. Like, it was me and Dan against everybody. We the only person we really didn't mess. We didn't mess with my brother Ted that much. Okay. Ted, we didn't really fuck with Ted.
Yeah, not.
But we would fuck with my oldest brother, and we'd fuck with my younger sister. Yeah. And
so it was 2 against 2, and then 1 is just in the middle.
Yeah. Well, no one else.
Oh, it was just y'all 2 in the clique.
It was me and Dan. Like, no one else could ride with us.
Y'all done clicked up, and y'all was like, we got it.
We got it. And but you know, at the end of the day, though, if anything happened to any of us,
we all there. It was the whole clique.
We all there. It's one unit.
I can fuck with my siblings, but you can't fuck with us.
You can't say one word against any of my siblings.
One look.
Right.
Even if they wrong.
Right. We there. We showing up, and we going to have some problems.
Showing up.
Yes.
So are any of your siblings in the creative lineage atmosphere?
All of my siblings are extremely creative, and for my entire life, I was very, very jealous of them all because I didn't feel like I was a creative. I felt like they had all of the skills and the talents. All of them can draw. Okay. I can't draw. Okay. My sister can sing her ass off. She dances really well. She is a magician with hair. They are all so talented. My brother Raymond, he draws very well, and he played the keyboard and the piano growing up. Okay. Ted did as well. Now Ted is a producer. He produces music. He makes beats, and that's like his thing.
Oh, wow. So their talents or treasures were like really pronounced early on.
Yes.
And you kind of felt like a little bit isolated from them.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I want to sing. You know, my daddy.
I want to draw. I want to do something.
My daddy was a bishop. And Bishop Reverend McDonald Jr. I think that's what they call him.
Okay.
And he actually owned a lot of businesses in East Austin back in the day.
Oh, wow.
When we came along, he mostly just had like churches and stuff in East Austin. But he has a record store that's like pictures of it in the Austin History Center and everything that was on 11th Street where Lola's used to be.
Okay.
That's where his record shop is, and my mom and him were working there. They would, there's a photo out there, and
somebody got it.
Somebody has a photo, and it's like Big Tex Records, and then it has Taxes, and then it's a church, Guiding Angel Church, and it's just everything they had going on in that little shop. But so growing up, he always has little churches, and he would have my brothers playing and have my sister singing and, stuff like that, and I'd just be sitting there looking like, just like... Yeah. Yeah. I got y'all. So I used to be jealous. Yeah. I used to be jealous.
When did you find your talent? And before we keep going, what would you describe your creative abilities as?
I am a storyteller.
How?
I am a storyteller through the visual arts, through photography, film, dope, mixed media, installation, art. And I think that would kind of really, that's a sum of what it is that I do.
And the first moment you felt that creative energy was when?
The first moment I felt the creative energy, like I had creative energy enough to call myself a creative, it took some work, but it was in my adulthood. It was not too long ago. It was probably like, I'm 31 now. It was probably around 23, 24.
Okay.
So after I had finished college and everything. But I was always like documenting things. And I just never understood it as such.
What do you mean when you say you was always documenting?
I always had a camera.
You always had a camera?
Always had a camera.
You were, when the friends would be like, somebody take our picture, you would be like,
I had the camera. Before phones, before any of that stuff, I had a camera.
What was your first camera?
So at first I worked with a bunch of disposable cameras, and then I had like a Kodak point and shoot camera for a very long time. When I was like in high school, I think. Okay. But in middle school, I always had lots of disposable cameras, and I would use my mama's cameras, whatever she would have. And then we had a Polaroid.
That's coming back.
I know. I was like, wow. Okay, let me see what I can find. Yeah. Dust off. I found the old Polaroid camera. I don't know if it works, but I found one. But yeah, I used to always just have a camera around, taking photos of everybody, of my friends, of everything we did. And I would go to the Walgreens and I would get them printed. I'd be like, let me get 4 copies of this, 5 of this one, 3 of this one. And I would hand them out to people, to all of my friends and to everyone who was in the photos. And I used to love doing that. That's what I did.
Wow.
Yes.
But you never saw yourself as a creative at the time?
No.
Okay. Mm-mm. And so what was the moment when you was like, bitch, I'm a creative? There's talent here.
I think it was a kind of what's the word I'm trying to think of? It was a process. Okay. That's the word I'm trying to think of. It was a process of being in creative environments and being with other people who were creating things, and around other people who were acknowledging my skills and my talents and were encouraging me to like own it. Yeah. And honestly, I think hearing that and seeing my work, and then seeing the work of I guess white people in the photography field who are collecting big checks, who are having big shows, and who are living their best lives and calling themselves artists. It's like, wow, I've been doing this all my life.
Right. And I'm telling stories.
Y'all
ain't got no story in y'all pictures.
And y'all stuff
the
is
lighting
just,
is off.
Right. And y'all stuff is just, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It's just not, it's not mine. You
right.
Know, it's not up, it's
yeah.
Not,
And so I think it was a combination of all of that, like understanding that I had never been told I was an artist or I was creative or that I was, I was an artist, probably because I was a black girl. A dark-skinned black girl, even at that, you know? Yeah. So none of the teachers, none of the counselors, no one who ever saw me with the camera, none of the adults who I was always, like, snapping pictures of and messing with and stuff, nobody ever encouraged me and, like, held me up in that light. No one ever said, wow, you're a photographer or you take great photos or you're an artist or you should pursue this. This is something that you could pursue in college. You know, this is something that no one ever said that to me. But then I had all the white peers. And I went to a performing arts high school, a fine arts high school.
And no one ever, like, saw this.
No.
This innate talent, it seems like.
No,
this innate ability.
They were all pushing the black and brown kids towards completely different things, away from the arts. And so the Fine Arts Academy was, like, filled with white kids. Yeah. And a lot of us never were so talented and really didn't, like, the two worlds just did not collide for us. Like, we didn't see ourselves as being part of that world.
Is that something that you realized and kind of identified after? Or did you feel that when you were at the Fine Arts High School?
I didn't feel it at all.
You didn't feel it?
I didn't feel that's something that I identified. That's something that was part of the process of me claiming my artistry is when I realized I've always been doing this, and I've more than likely never been told that I'm an artist or that I'm a creative or to pursue this because I'm black. Yeah. You know, because thinking back, like, I just think about, like, I went to a performing or a fine arts high school. I was around all of this programming designed around the things that I am interested in. I've always been interested in
nurturing this talent.
Yes, and no one ever said you should think about applying to the academy, to the Fine Arts Academy here, or you should, look at these classes, or you should. So you take photos a lot. I see you always taking photos. You should think about joining the yearbook team or the yearbook club. Yeah,
something.
No one ever said any of that stuff, and so we always felt like we were told to do other things, right? Yeah. And so we always felt like that stuff just wasn't for us, or it wasn't our stuff, or, like, that's just not where our skills were, like, laid,
So you mentioned through the process of discovering that label, of owning that label of being an artist, that there were people that was like, oh, you take a lot of pictures, or you do this, you do that. Who were some of those people early on as an adult that kind of, like, poured into you and said, you got talent, girl?
Yeah. My mother was one of the first.
Always mama.
Yeah, always mama. And Carrie Adams, I would have to say, was a huge...
Shout out to Carrie,
who's the exhibit coordinator over at the Carver Museum. He's a really good close. We've been friends before he was at the museum. And so he was kind of one of the first people to say, you're creative. You're an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I take photos.
I do a little bit.
He's like, no,
I do a little razzle dazzle every now and then.
Yeah, he's like, you need to own that. So he's one of the people who was very intentional about, like, saying, you're an artist. Yeah. Claim that. You're a creative. Own that. And then some of the other people who were around to, like, I guess, encourage and contribute to me owning it. Fumi Ogunro, have to shout her out.
Shout out to Fumi.
One of my really good friends, Kelly Coleman.
Shout out to Kelly. I don't know Kelly, but shout out to Kelly.
You probably met... I always ask you if you've met her before. I think y'all would really like each other. She's really awesome.
Invite her to game night.
Yeah.
Whenever we have that.
She's at the equity office here. She actually helped put the equity office in Austin into existence. She was one of the people
really
who pushed
shout
for
out
it.
to
Yeah, she's doing a lot of great work out in these Austin streets. She's an Austin native. Yeah, those are some of the people who were really influential in the early stages of me really owning my artistry.
And what did it feel like? I guess my question is now, because I struggled with the same thing. My friends would be like, "Say you're a playwright. Say you this." I was like,
I know. Yeah.
I just do. Say you're a poet. No, I just go and perform every now and then.
Right.
And it really felt liberating for me once I took ownership of that. And I felt that it helped my creativity. It made me want to push further. Once I owned it, I wanted to get better. I wanted to see. So what did it feel like when you was like, my name is Cindy and I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit?
Right. It definitely felt freeing. It felt very freeing. And I'm still working on this process of like undoing a lot of internalized programming around what I can do and what I should be doing. You know what I mean? So it's like pulling back like all of this stuff that's just kind of been like holding me back from my artistry. And so it was very freeing. And I feel like once I believed it myself and once I claimed it for myself, sky was the limit. The sky was the limit. Yeah. Like I started exploring all different types of media, and like I discovered like I really like installation art. Like if I could be an installation artist and solely do installations, like I would be so fucking fulfilled with my life.
And
get paid for it.
Yeah, get a check. Explain to folks who may be listening or watching what installation art is.
Whew, okay.
If you know, or some examples that they may know or see.
Okay. So, man, installation art. I wish I could give a succinct definition because I really can't.
Okay.
But
or what it feels like to you.
To me, installation art that I do personally, I can talk about that. It's like I like to really activate a space in a way that makes people question like a reality. Okay. So I like to play with reality. Okay. With my installations. Like for example, one of the installations that I did was temporary at the University of Texas over at the Warfield Center. Yes.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to the Warfield Center. Shout out to Lyndon and to Stephanie Lang.
Oh, come on now, Lyndon.
Dr. Gill. Dr. Gill.
I was his class one day and they was like, Dr. Gill. I said, who is that? I forgot. I was like, okay, Lyndon. Tighten your wig, girl. You in his class. Tighten your wig. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Lyndon and shout out to Stephanie Lang over there and everyone there who helped to make that happen. So yard signs are a very real thing. Mm-hmm. People use them for a purpose. They, whether it's to sell something, to offer something, to buy, put out like some type of advertisement, and then people make the yard signs. The Black Lives Matter yard sign, or the science is, those.
Science is real.
Yeah, love is love.
Black rights, human, no,
right? Yeah, no human is illegal. Yeah, stuff like that.
The list,
So thinking about that and how I drive through East Austin, a place that's heavily gentrified, and I see all of those signs, right, in the yards of people who are in places where Black people no longer exist because of them. Yeah. And to me, it's just like it's such a paradox. Yeah. It's such a paradox. Like Black people and brown people and poor people have all been uprooted, right? And income y'all.
Yeah, income
with the signs.
And yoga mats.
And the yoga mats.
And the yoga mats.
And the coffee shops.
And the coffee shop. That's when the yoga mats and coffee shops.
Mm-hmm. And the dogs.
And walking the neighborhood.
There was a study. There was a study released. I forget what year it was that found that there are more dogs in East Austin now than kids.
Wow. Was that with? I know Dr. Tang does some stuff.
It may have been Dr. Tang, and I really feel bad that I'm not able to really attribute that to the.
But you know, by the time this
whoever.
comes out, we can post it.
Right.
We can post it. You can post that article.
But yeah, and so, what was the question? I'm sorry.
The girl I forgot too, but
Installation.
Yeah.
So
Girl, you know we just get to talking.
So I just kind of took
That's
that.
how you know we creators, but you
Right.
Start here and there. Now we're here. Okay.
I took that concept. One thing that I started doing was I started collecting signs that these people the vultures who put up "We buy houses." I started collecting those signs. I started picking them hoes up and taking them out the ground, and I started collecting them. And I was like, I want to do an installation with this one of these days. But then I kind of flipped it, and I made my own signs.
Oh wow.
And I thought about what do these signs really mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so some of them said things like, we buy old houses, we buy ugly houses. I will have to send you some of the photos of them.
We definitely want to post and highlight those.
Yes, but it was
If
like,
we can.
And it was like, what's the messaging underneath this all? Like, bye black people, you know. I wish I could think of the names.
We'll get it.
So I kind of took that concept and I installed the signs on UT's campus.
Oh.
And I blended them in with actual the we buy houses, the Black Lives Matter, the Science is Real signs.
Oh shit, that's a dope concept.
So that was something that I done, and that's what I like to do with my installation.
So what is and I know we're short for time, but I have to ask this question for the folks, not for me, but for the folks. Mm-hmm. What is your process like? So when you have an idea, an idea pops in your head, what do you do?
Write it down.
Okay. Do you keep like a journal of all of your ideas, or you just write it wherever you can get it out?
Wherever I can get it out.
Okay.
I do have a list on my phone and my computer. They link up where I keep a long running list of ideas that I have, mm-hmm. And I just kind of build on that list, and I pick something, and I go out and I'll try to work on it. And sometimes I work on multiple things at once. And then there are times where I'm working on such a huge project where that just takes precedence over everything. And that's what's happening right now.
Oh, yeah. Can you say the project or not yet?
Can I talk about it?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Well, this will be released after, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And, we record these episodes so far in advance, it works out. Okay.
So the project that I'm working on right now is for Art in Public Places. It's through Forklift Dance Works.
Oh, is this the project that some of it's Givens? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's
in conjunction with this Givens Swims production that they're doing.
Okay.
And they've done them around at different pools in the Austin area. Bartholomew Pool is one of them, where they engage with the community members, the lifeguards, and all that, and they come up with they choreograph a piece and they perform it over the course of a couple of weekends. And so they're doing that at Givens Park. At Givens Pool, because the pool is up for renovation pretty soon, and so they're putting on this production, and they through a partnership with Art in Public Places got funding, to involve 2 artists in the process to create work to go up on display in conjunction with the performances for the Givens Swims performance.
And this is July 27th.
So it's going to be up. The night of the performances are July 20th and 21st.
Okay.
And then the 27th and 28th?
I think.
Or whatever that last weekend is. And so the installations will be up the entire time.
Okay.
That the performances are going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we will try to be out there and maybe post pictures of what it looked like for the folks since this will air after it. But anyway, we can support. Okay, so we got to do this. We always do a top 5. And when you said that earlier, I was like, oh, I've been doing this since whenever we met. Mm-hmm. Okay, top 5, and I'll give you a category. All right?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Top 5 category is best places to eat in Austin. And surrounding, If you want to include, the neighboring cities too, that's cool. The area.
Best places. Oh gosh, I don't. Okay, see.
You're a vegetarian,
right?
Yeah, we love our vegetarian.
Right.
Yeah. I got some friends listening that are vegetarian, so come on and tell us.
Okay, so I really like Tatayas.
Tatayas
would be like in that top 5.
Okay.
I don't have to go in any order, do I?
No order, yeah.
Okay, Tatayas. Oh my gosh. I said I was ready, but I don't know. I like the catfish at Country Boy Fixins.
Okay. We were just talking about that place yesterday, actually. Jeremy too.
I would say Roland's as well.
Roland's.
I eat fish, so.
Okay. That's cool. No judgment in this one.
Oh gosh, but
Tatayas.
listen, let me be honest. I go to Houston.
Roland's.
That's why I go to eat. But let me see Austin.
Okay, tell me 2 spots in Houston.
2 spots in Houston.
Yeah.
Lucy's, which is Ethiopian food.
Okay.
Bomb.com.
Bomb.
And Reggae Hut.
Reggae Hut. Okay. And that's the top 5.
Top 5.
Austin, Houston. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm throwing my own city in there. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I want to do a part 2.
Me.
I have
would
other
love
questions.
to. Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about your photography that you did with the 12th Street or East Austin. It was an exhibit that was like East Austin focused. I just know it was like black kids in the pictures. I cannot think of like the specific event, but it was okay. I did my research before you came. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Just know we're supposed to get together and do a game night one day, and I'm going to whoop ass. So that's it.
Joe, thanks.
Thank y'all for listening to the season finale. Tell them where your social media is and where they can follow you and where they can find
So
you
can find me on Instagram at Cindy Elizabeth Photo.
Okay.
I do have a Facebook, but I don't use it. My website, www.cindyelizabeth.com.
Okay. That's it. Love and light, y'all. Thank you for listening this entire season. I hope y'all have a great, great day, great rest of your year. We'll be back very soon with more episodes of I Just Want to Tell Stories. Mwah.
I Just Want to Tell Stories is hosted by Joe Anderson Jr. for the Mahogany Project and produced by Cameron Hawkins for the South Congress Podcast Network.